Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the show. This is show number whatever. How are you doing tonight? What do we call it today? RC Custom. We change the name every time. RC Custom Crawler Show tonight. We have Ryan and Kelly. Greetings and salutations. How are you? Um, the shot is wonderful. It's on the dirtiest part of the desk. Totally clear right here. So never fear. What are you working on today? Rightsa, what is up? What are you working on, Rightsa? You get your 14th scale big semi done? How is everything so crooked? It's fine. It's fun. Nothing. Who's playing tonight? I just got my kid home from basketball, and I know he's watching football, and I don't know who's playing. Somebody's done in trailer. Oh, gotcha. You're moving on to the big T28. That's what's up. That's right. That's what I heard. Washington and Philadelphia. Okay. Okay. 2mm bit, y'all, and you don't stop. I've been 3D printing my face off. For real. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. 7-0 second quarter. Washington's up. Okay. It's a mad dash. I got a handful of projects going right now. Like I said, I've been printing like nuts. Is this thing on? I need to go fetch some paint. I've got most of what I need. I need blue. I need blue. Also just need a smidge of sandpaper. Just to knock some edges down. Is no one getting notifications? Crazy. Kelly's going to come on tonight, but we'll let some folks show up first. No, he got a new build plate. I haven't seen it. 6 o'clock, and then I'm hands on with stuff. Got to eat in there and get kids to practice and stuff, and so I have not seen anything. What's special about it? I will check it out though. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I haven't if I every now and then something will come unstuck, but I consider it my own fault. I haven't used one stitch of glue on anything. No prep. I just clean the bed every now and then and try to keep my grubby paws off of it. Because I assume it's the oils from your hands messing up the game, messing it up. But no, that's cool. I have a smooth one that I probably will never use. The one I'm using is like a textured plate, and so it does a good job of holding stuff. I've lost a couple little tiny pieces, have fallen off, but generally it's pretty good. What's up, Dad? I need to order some more filament again. Jeff in Lower Alabama, what's going on? I haven't seen the videos on that little Mustang either yet. 1.0 is it fixed gear? You know it's a hand launcher, bro. 2S, 3S, what is it on that thing? Didn't I make green the other day? I didn't have it. I made it. Just knocking the edges, 3 and 4S. Oh, that'll be a little ripper then. What's up, Moons? That'll be a little ripper then. What's up, Kirk? I assume. All right. All right. Wild Bill, there we go. I'm just grinding away, knocking those unrealistic hard square edges off of one of the bits that's going on the trimmer's truck. I pulled back a little on that this week, just a little, and tried to move forward on some other stuff. I'm going to show you guys some files I've been printing off in the CJ7 project, which I need to be. I've printed all the files, but I have not begun the project, and it's going to be awesome because it's a full depth interior. We'll talk about it. It's a full depth interior and a moving guy, head and arms and steering wheel. And what's really cool too is if you've been following me for a minute, you know that once you get files, you can repurpose them. So I printed off the files box stock from Night Customs for the CJ7 first. And then I started cutting and stretching and all kinds of stuff. So my Willys wagon, I got a full interior, scaled down the seats by 9.76%, and the driver guy by 9.76%. I did the math on the scale. And then printed it off. So the Willys wagon up here's got all the bits printed off for it too. And I've ordered some light kits, and I did have inner fenders from Axial put on the Willys wagon on the front and the rear, and it was pretty good. But with the files, I don't need the rear inner fenders, so I took them back off. Because dude, it's cool. I'll show you guys in a minute. Kelly's going to be on tonight. I haven't heard back from him, but I'm sure he's still into it. He was into it earlier today. And so, yeah, this is one of the little suitcase looking things that's on the will be on the trimmer's truck. A Rebel Zoom Zoom motorcycle? Is that what that is? Just knocking this down a little bit. But yeah, I did pull away. I've been printing like nuts this week. Nuts. And I'm pretty pumped up about these files. It's an even better driver than the other guys I printed off. And I went with his G codes, which means his settings. They're good. I got some silver paint. I've ordered a ton of stuff this week, but stupid stuff, bumpers and rock rails and light kits and screws. I did get the beam kit for making a crawler suck, turning it into two-wheel drive on a scissor beam. Oh, that Rebel. I'm familiar with that. I did a video on one of those, Monster, a few years ago. But it was, I think it was the, maybe it wasn't a Rebel. It was something amazing. And I think it was from BVM. Just doing a little sanding. So Kelly, have you texted me? Kelly's picked himself up an SCX6. And he's already printing a body for it. I'm anxious to see how it goes together, but I know we can do it. He's good whenever. Awesome. Yeah, I want to work and talk tonight. I printed off a bunch of license plates. Dad, here's a question for you. In the Trimmers movies, I'm gonna get a brush to clean off my dust. In the Trimmers, what's up, Big Jim? In the Trimmers movies, number one, the license plate was front bumper or rear bumper? Tell me now, if you would, pretty please. I'm just going to talk and get things done and bring on homeboy. I want to show you these bits. And I'm hoping they translate once we're both on here. They will. That's good. Yeah, I found these generic license plates and I made a bunch of different sizes already. And it's some of it's cut off, but the important parts there, it says RC for life. I was like, that's perfect. Because when I was looking for license plates, a lot of them were like European or whatever. And I was like, I really wanted Nevada, I think. So, yeah, Dad, front or rear on Trimmer's movie number one? I know the answer. I know the answer. All right, let's just do it. We're going to bring him on. What's up, Tim Smith? Here we go. Big Jim says no front. Haven't I invited you before? Bro, did you send me your email? Send me your email and text. Oh, yeah, that would never pop up the way I'm looking. Okay. There it is. I never would have looked for that. Send it. Okay. It has been sent. Paul Dayton, what's going on? And Smith. Hey, Jim says no front. Where's Dad? He hadn't answered. Trimmer's truck trivia. Trimmer's movie number 1. Where is the license plate on the truck? Front or rear? Let me know. There he is. Your head's cut off like crazy. He's in the wings. Last time we got his hands, this time we get from neck down. You guys ready? There you go. That's better. There you go. Rainy day in New Zealand. Yeah, it's been rainy now. We're into that season of life where it sucks around here. I legit am going to. I do not want to paint over the directions on my ProBeam kit. What? Welcome to your mom. I'm not trying to do anything on my phone. Thank you. Bye. All right, we're doing it. You ready, brother? Here we go. Kelly Klein. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can hear you.
What's happening, guys?
There you go. We got you. Dude, we're going to bring it in like this, kind of crop it up. You got some mail time? I was going to talk to you about mail time.
Yeah, you were talking about never using glue on your printer bed. Well, guess what? I just got more glue.
Thanks, Paul. It's a little hard to hear you, brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you may be too far. But it is what it is. Because we don't practice.
No, we don't.
We don't practice.
So you were saying that you never use glue on your printer bed. Well, that's one of the things I just got.
What'd you just get?
Glue for the printer bed.
Oh, I have never used any yet.
And my printer is down. I broke it.
Oh, no. What happened?
I tried printing with ASA and heated the bed up too much, I think, and smoked the heater element in it.
Did you order the part? Were you able to order the part?
Yeah. It'll be here next week.
That's good. Yep. That's good.
So
hey, you might want, and I hate to do this right now, but if it's not You may want to get in front of your stuff instead of behind it. Can you guys hear him okay? Plate is on the front, but what about the other Trimmers movies? I've seen, because I don't have any pictures, so I just pull up YouTube and I watch as much Trimmer stuff as I can, right? And I've seen the license plate on the front and the back. That's cool, brother. And we get the idea. And honestly, we should, whatever. It's fine. We got like 15 folks. It's not like we're holding up the Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. Can you hear me better now?
Way better. And you could, those trucks now that are out of sight, you could put back where you were.
Right.
And we can see them.
Right.
I want you to show us that body in your hand with what you've printed for the 6 scale. So for scale. Bro, look at this, guys. This is sick.
So as Ryan mentioned to you guys, I bought a F86 Honcho. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to print a new body for it. And I'm in love with the Blazer body. So here's one half of it.
Holy smokes. And put that next to, right over the top of Doc. Look how big it is. And you've got some paint on that so far?
I put 2 coats of paint on it and wet sanded it early this morning. So I'm letting it dry. And
how's the seams doing?
The seams are good. I actually filled this one back here because it's so big. I had to cut this in half, the back part.
Makes perfect sense.
Cut it right over the top of the wheel well. And so I filled that now twice and sanded it. So it should be good to go. But, for the most part, I'm doing the same thing you're doing, Ryan. I put some paint on, wet sand it, just to fill in the lines from the print bed.
Yep.
And, dude, it's working,
I learned a little something on that red. Look at that side, you guys. You got to show them your tint scale version.
Well,
So look at that, y'all. And I know it's going to be dope because his tint scale ones are not. And he's getting these files from Andre Rodsny, whatever. That looks so small now compared to those bits. But we've all driven the dog fiddlings out of that truck. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it bouncing through the sand, ripping it on one of those FMS 6 scale Jimny chassis. What's up, John? Kelly took total, and Kirk has one as well. His is orange. It looks fantastic. And the truth is, I never really wanted a Blazer, but now I've seen theirs and driven theirs. It's like I gotta have it, and I know the files are going to be good because it's from Andre, what's his name?
Yeah, that dude, he does some nice stuff.
Dude, you're not even using all the stuff that's in the files yet.
No.
Probably. There's mirrors and all kinds of junk in those files.
There is. I was going to put mirrors on the yellow and white one, but you know what? I don't want to because I know they're going to get broken off. What's the point? But
that's TPU.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about last weekend crawling. I've got some things that we produce at work that I can make things flexible. So
that's what I'm saying.
Because
I'm like you, until I can have them flexible, I'm gonna skip it.
Right, exactly. 100%.
Skip it. And so we're going out. We got all kinds of build stuff to talk about, but this will be the first time you're going out for real trailing with this. Are you going to bring the 6 scale this weekend?
Oh yeah, Honcho's coming out for sure.
I'll bring mine then. I'll bring my Rubicon.
Absolutely.
You always hate to just be the only guy with the big one because it's like It's just not fair. It's almost like a 6x6. You can go anywhere with that son of a gun, bro.
Dude, I sent you the video. I climbed it up my stairs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
Guys, for what it's worth, one thing I'm gonna step in front here, but Ryan and I have been doing a lot of, well, Ryan and Kirk and I have been doing a lot of trick stuff.
Show them that blazer body, bro.
This is actually on the chassis right now. This is my beater truck.
Look at that. Those red. You told me what color that was. Did you fix that?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So last time we went out,
It was this corner.
it was almost a good thing somebody had their trailer with them. Look at the grill. When you see those things out in the woods, bro, and the leaf springs for these, it's perfect because you get to maintain a ton of the interior that way. A ton.
And the best part that I was going to talk about was I got this idea that, hey, you know what? Rather than trying to find a roll bar that would fit this, I decided to just go to Lowe's and pick up some aluminum round stock, solid round stock, and that's what my roll bar is made out of. I actually bent that and drilled and tapped it and basically made the roll bar out of
So it's
this.
screwed together. No heat.
Right, this one's all screwed together. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, aluminum would be tough to TIG?
Yeah, no, I screwed it together, but bending it is kind of a trick.
It looks so good.
But it's 3/8, and this body is held on by magnets, and I'm actually holding on to it by the roll bar. Dude.
Isn't that nuts, y'all? But he took a tumble and it was bashing it pretty hard, and it would have one of the glue joints, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yep, there's.
What interior? Show me the bottom of that, will you?
Yep.
What's the floor? Is that the file he sends for the floor?
Yeah.
Bro, I need to get a blazer just to have the floor to use for other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think that's the same floor that I got for my travel wall, is it?
I don't know. I've never seen that file. I'm not sure.
When you printed that off, did it already fit wall to wall in the blazer?
No, it does not. There's a gap between the actual body.
Did you make it bigger? Did you make it bigger so it fit, or what'd you do?
No. I like it. I like having that gap between the two walls because that's where I put all my wire in for my lights. They're all up in here.
So you've got a little bit of wiggle between the floor and the side of the body.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah,
Mine does too.
You can kind of see my wiring up in between the two walls.
Yep.
So I ran everything on this side, up this side, brought it up front, and everything down this side up front and tied it all together.
You know what's so cool too about using those bumpers? So Kirk and Kelly and I we're doing a lot of this.
A lot.
But we got different approaches.
Yep.
With those blazers you guys are doing, and I'm going to do the same thing with my travel all. And my travel all is the first files that I printed off from him. So I haven't really even done it yet, what you all are doing. But you cannot find those bumpers on the aftermarket. And if you do, you're going to go through a whole lot to make it adapt to whatever chassis it's on. So use the files. He sends you the bumpers. He sends you the mirrors. He sends you the grill. He sends you the radiator, the alternator, the air filter, brother. All of it's there.
Now this Blazer does not have the motor and all that stuff with it like what your travel all had.
Okay. I'll get this stuff put on that drive, man. I have so much. You guys are going to go crazy.
So one of the other things that I've discovered with this Blazer file in particular is with these door cards. This is I'm printing a 1/10 scale version of this as well.
Yeah.
But this door card, if you can see, guys, this top part of the actual door panel, what I do is I go in and chop this top section off. And what that does is it raises the door panel and the interior bit up. And what I do is I compensate by the front floor pan. I actually go in, let's see, a good angle is this top surface right here on the front where the dash sits on. I will take and chop that off to get rid of my difference. And what happens is the whole entire floor comes up. So needless to say, and long story short, this big guy, I'm gaining almost a half an inch with the floor going up.
By doing that to the door card, which in also helps you maintain, it makes it all easier. And I've learned this on the Willys wagon. It's going to allow you to keep more floor. Yep. You're going to be able to raise it up and get more of that transmission and all the bits out of the way, less cutting on the floor. You know, I got to tell you, the CJ7 files, I'm just going to show them to you, and then I'm going to show you the Willys wagon, brother. So this is so sick. I will scoot this back. So I'm just going to mock it up a little bit, and then I'm going to show you the Willys wagon, and you'll see. So this is his files for a drop bed, but it's still not a completely true drop bed. It's just more than the stock one. The stock one, the bed's way up here, right? So this drops it down. There's the cutouts for the shock tower.
Yep.
And then you can choose from either a tactical case, which is dope.
Nice.
Or a cooler, which is dope. And it's already designed with those bits. Bro, I got to show you something just for reference while I'm doing it. So this is a cooler.
Yep.
So's this one. Same bloody cooler. I did what I had to do because my floor came down a little bit more on the Willys wagon, so I need a little more depth and coverage. Because the cross member that bugs me to death, I made this wide enough with the other piece that it'll cover it. You'll see in a minute. So anyway, so this comes, it hides the shock tower, You've got that.
Dude, it's genius.
And now this is CJ7's a 10.3 with the motor and trans up in the front, right? Okay, well, so this works for that. But one thing I did learn was this kind of sits a little higher, like what you're doing. And so there is no real provisions. That's it. And it's going to be, I'm doing the CJ7 very soon. I was going to start on it today. So there's that. Now, the driver, his head moves and his arms move, and they glue to the steering wheel, and I've got all the bits to get it done. Look how good the seats look.
Wow. Man, that looks awesome.
So
the fidelity of that is amazing.
It's great. And because my Willys wagon is built after the Fab Rats, he's got these modern seats in the front. And I scaled out the CJ7 with the real measurements and the Willys wagon and figured out that it's 9.76% less big on the wagon. So I printed up, which helped me as well with my clearance issues that I have with that. So there's 2 holes here. It's going to screw into these slots that are in the floor, and we'll just mock it up. So, oh, by the way, it also has files. The CJ7 Night Custom came with, look at these doors if I decide to put them on the CJ7.
Dude, you couldn't buy those,
bro.
Now for what you paid for the whole file.
$20 for the file, dog. And I've already used it. I printed off enough stuff for 3 trucks. I've got, brother, you have on my CJ7, when I bought Richard from Jaws, right?
Yep.
He came with 2 heads. So I'm not using
So did Doc Brown.
I'm not using Matt's head on my CJ7. I'm putting Homeboy in it,
Yeah.
bro.
You're gonna put Richard in there?
All I got to do is make a little post for his neck, and
Nice.
and it's gonna be, bro. I'm so stupid. I was shopping doll clothes because I'm like, if I can get doll clothes on these dudes, I can start thinking about making the waist articulate also.
Dude,
So
you're not alone in that dollhouse department, brother. I did that last week at Meyer.
right, Amazon, I can get a whole wardrobe or something. But so his arms and stuff, you use like if you go with his directions, you use winch line. But full guy, designed to fit in the CJ7. There's a tailgate for the CJ if you want to use it.
Is it operational?
It can be. I'll probably glue it in.
Right on.
Because if it's operational, you know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to open.
Same thing as the FJ40s.
Exactly. So I got my servos. I got my winch line. What I don't have on me at the where'd I put it? The dash, bro, and the steering wheel. Hold on, it's so good.
Nice.
I've been putting stuff in boxes, try to stay organized, but I have a lot of boxes.
Dude, you can't be in this hobby and be organized. Those two don't mix.
I got it. And last night I was taking apart one of my Jimneys too, because I got a couple of those bodies, and I stole this already. Look at that dash. This already has a servo in it for a steering wheel.
Oh yeah, from the Jimny. Yep.
So I can use this for anything. But yeah, so the stock business, check this out. So there's a gear that's going to sit in there. That's the back plate for the dash. There's a gear that sits in there and a post for the steering wheel. And then here's the front of the dash.
Dude.
Where's I put the bloody steering wheel and stuff? But anyway, that goes up on the Lexan body, and this dude will be, his head will move, and so will his arms that are all kind of put together, ball and socket, but with winch line, and you glue the hands to this.
Yep.
So the servo moves the steering wheel, which moves his arms.
Right.
And then there's a post and servo mount spot in the back of the dude.
That's crazy.
So I really want to find that steering wheel real quick.
There's a lot there, man.
A ton, and it's all in separate bits. So it was like so not a big deal to repurpose and cut it up. I know I printed off 3 or 4 of those bloody steering wheels.
Guys, when I told Ryan, I was like, you got to get a 3D printer. And he was kind of on the fence about it. I told him, I said, it becomes part of the family, and it does.
It runs. And I'm working from here, brother. I work from here. This same room, that thing is running a lot. Bro, what did I do with it? Anyway, you get the idea. There's a steering wheel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Dude, bro, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, cup of coffee, and trying to figure out what I was going to do for a hitch, not to change subject too far.
Oh, do it. Yeah, yeah.
On the back of the SCX6. And I wound up using a hitch off of Amazon and 270 millimeter control links and bolted it in. Dude, that's sweet.
It's keyed, so it's like hex.
Yeah.
Keep on talking, brother.
No, that's good. And I actually came up with a pretty nice hitch design. I can't wait to try it this weekend on the back of the Honcho.
I saw what you did. I haven't broke away the supports yet, but dude, I've got shifters and brake and clutch pedals. There's gears for working that servo business, and then here's a shoulder down to the elbow.
Right on. Did you make that out of PLA?
Yeah, that's all I use. If you see black from me, it is like this is the carbon fiber stuff. The PLA with the carbon fiber in it.
Yeah. How hot do you have to run your printer bed to do that?
Brother, it is a little hotter, maybe my 20 or 30 degrees. But here's the deal with the bamboo, all you have to do is tell it what the filament is. It makes the adjustments.
Nice.
I don't do anything. Right. And John, I do have some Traxxas crawlers. I got the 2021 Bronco and the Land Rover Defender that's dialed in with lights and stuff. So I'm super pumped. So you see, and you have an option too. You don't have to use these to cover up the shock towers. You can print off a bench seat instead if you want that in the back to hide the shock tower. So you virtually get a full depth interior. And I guarantee you when he designed this, he brought it as low as he could and still maintain the fidelity of the floor.
Yep.
Now, I wanted to go ahead and print off all of this so I could see it and kind of have an idea of what they want and how it's going to work with the CJ7 before I start cutting on it, right? And making it work for me. Now, you've seen the stock bits on this. Watch this. Hold on. I'm going to bust out the willies.
Dude, while you're doing that,
those are nice.
This in the back of the Blazer. I haven't printed it yet, but I think that this huge one I'm doing for the Honcho, I'm going to hide the shock towers in the bottom of this seat. That's my plan. And
I think you'll be because you keep your floor where you do, I don't think you're going to have any problem with that. And one thing about seeing how the CJ7 files are intended to work, when I used it in my Willys wagon and I'm mocking it up, and you know me, I usually go for full bottom as I can. Well, I set up a couple mock pieces that way. And then when I put the seat in there, it's way too low. The guy's way too low. And I'm going to have to space him up. And it's like, you know what?
Yep.
If I'm willing to concede a little bit and just let the floor be up,
yep.
I'm going to win like you have. And I'm able to use, I'll show you. I'm going to bring out the Willys, brother. I'm pretty pumped about the Willys. Like I told you guys, I've pumped the brakes just a little bit on the trimmer's truck. Glad to get a maiden voyage on that the other day, and there's more to do on it, and I'm super excited. But, dude, the Willys.
Dude, get it done. Let's go Sunday.
It drives. So even if I don't get the brother, you know what's hilarious? I had it all inner fendered out, front and rear inner fenders put on the Willys wagon, which basically accomplished the whole floor problem, except for right down the middle. And it looked pretty good. I got them cut to fit. Everything's cool. But then I got these files.
Regrip.
So this drives.
You need to put that on the trailer and pull that behind the SCX6 on Sunday.
Dude, if this goes out, it's driving. That's all I know. I've been dying to drive this. So it's still real easy to get in it and everything. I may not even mess with hinges, and just because there's so much flat here, I may just magnet this thing on, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the hinges are hidden on the real one. Unless you have the years where they have piano hinges and then you'll have stuff showing. Right. But it's like it already fits so good. Forget about it. Magnet it and get it out of the way so you can change your battery, right?
Yep.
Who cares? We make our own rules.
Dude, are you magnet or gluing the top on?
I don't know yet. I may screw that. Look at the grooves in there. I thought about screwing it in and just unscrew it if I want to take it off.
Dude, I got a file for some small L brackets that would be perfect for up there.
All right, so here's the reveal of what the modded up interior, right? So you saw the full floor CJ7 stuff.
Yep.
So this comes off like this, and then I slide it back, and I can get out of Dodge. I'll probably have to recreate my. Yep, I will. Well, that's that. Base camp. But all my floor business stayed in. So I'll try to.
Yep.
I'm going to take it out.
And then you can put those bits that you showed us a little while ago in there and cover up the shock towers.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
These two big boxes fit perfect in there.
That's awesome.
So I'm just going to pull this out real quick. My mock-up floor. None of it's mounted yet, but I got it to fit. So let's not drop the.
Did you say you scaled that down from the CJ7?
I scaled the seats and the drivers down, but I stretched the floor out by 30 millimeters in the back.
Oh, okay.
And I also put a negative. Remember, the floor only has small holes for the shock towers, but because of the cross member on here, and I did want to come down a little bit lower, yep. I ended up making that box, the cooler and the tactical box, fills the space so much that you don't see any floor in between it.
You did the same thing to your Land Rover body, right?
Kinda. But that was from scratch. And remember the front piece on the CJ7, how it's solid?
Yep.
I put negative spaces in the 3D print to make this hole and this hole. Right. So, brother, it fits over the trans.
That's crazy.
Just right. Look at that. That's right where it needs to go. I was able to even between the seats, I have the console, half of it.
That's crazy. Did you take the cover off the tranny?
I did, and I put it back on because I was like, you know what? Something's going to get tangled up in there.
Okay, so it fits even with the cover on.
It's fine.
That's awesome.
And then these seats, it's hard to tell, but they are, instead of a full 100%, they're 90.26 scale instead of 100. And these guys are a little bit smaller than what the CJ7 has, but that was the right thing to do for the scale of the vehicle.
Exactly.
I made the floor bigger just in one axis. And then I'm not worried about the tailgate because this is inside. And so I'll be able to use that CJ7 steerable. This dude's going to be articulated also.
That's crazy.
Well, dude, why wouldn't you? If you got the files and you
servo companies in business, brother.
You know what? I have so many servos laying around, dude. I bought the two that he recommended with the kit just because I even bought winch line like he recommended. I was like, all right, winch line for the guy's arms and junk. And I'm going to buy the servos that he recommends because I know they'll fit. But after that, I know I have enough stuff laying around that, and I'm going to use all the recommended stuff for the CJ. But I already know I might run into trouble when it comes to the servo in his back because I scaled him down. But you know what I was thinking? How cool it'd be. I say this all the time. You've heard me say it, where I want to make the waist articulate too and look out the window. And you know what I thought about how to do it? Once you figure out how to articulate the waist, I think if you have clothes on the guy, you can do it really easily and hide it. Yep. So even just a coat on one of these dudes, and I can do it. But if you put the guy on a gyro, if you use like an AVC receiver, if we have AVC on our crawler, they go so slow you would never know. So you could Y in the servo for the dude. And that means when you get sideways, he would look out immediately.
Yeah.
The window if you had the dude on a gyro.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Right?
Yeah, dude, you are going deep into this, bro.
I mean, and you're not?
Not quite that far, brother.
Bro, I got silver paint on the front of this. I cannot find my body reamer. I need to open up the light buckets just a little bit more so I can get the lights installed. But dude, I was using a silver Sharpie, but I bought this real stinky, nice chrome silver Tamiya stuff. And look at the silver. It looks awesome.
Oh, it looks great.
For the bezels on the lights and the grill.
Dude, this PLA paints really well.
It does. And I use the flat PLA, and it's amazing. And so somebody asked me, when am I printing up an SCX6 body? Pretty soon, probably, to be honest. Kelly's already started, so I'm going to let him be the guinea pig, as he always is.
There's mine sitting on there, Ryan.
Brother, man. Did you mess with it again to get it the size right? It looks better on the arches.
I did. I actually started over and had to change.
I knew it.
That's probably going to be about the right height right there, yeah.
But see what? Look how much floor I'm able to maintain just for not going crazy. Because you know how, in my mind, I want to drop it as low as I can. Dude. But with all that contour in there, with all the chassis stuff, and I'm really, look how good this fits over the trans, bro.
That's like it was meant to be.
And the interior of this thing's going to be white. So I'm going to paint the transmission and the motor white. This will not stay green.
Right.
And then I'll patina the floor and junk, and it'll look fantastic, man. It'll look fantastic. You already saw my license plate hookup deal. So that's kind of one thing I'm talking about, about the different styles we're using to assemble these things. Kelly and Kirk are using magnets and having great success, and I haven't done that yet. I keep doing this kind of junk, but I'm okay with that. It's a hard connection, and I can dig it. I want to mock this back up and put those coolers in it. And
dude, my plan is on this big Blazer body for the Honcho is to hinge it in the back and use the pins in the front just as it is right now. So that's the goal. And I think that everything should line up pretty darn good with the geometry of everything.
That's awesome. And whenever you can keep, I mean, when I build these base camp kits, I keep using those body post area mounts because they're out of sight and they're there.
Right.
I still got to figure out how I want to mount in the front. I got some ideas for it, but it's going to be fine. And the body squares up on the chassis perfect every time because of how there's no clearance or bagginess.
Yep.
That front Y fits over this servo, these bosses for a winch servo.
Yep.
In the front, it fits right over it.
See, on my Willys wagon, I think I actually mounted a couple of those L brackets I'm talking about right up in the front, right at the back of the center V of the grill.
Yes.
And it held it perfectly with a magnet on each side.
I may do something like that because I actually have to squeeze in my inner fenders that I've trimmed to get the body to sit down. So and then the back will be on, so solid.
And the nice thing about that version compared to the Land Rover, you had to get the Land Rover down low because that's where you wanted it to be at on ride height. Where this, your ride height is up quite a bit higher. So, that floor fits perfect on there for that.
You know what? This is the first one of these base camp builds I've done where I use the stock location for the shocks.
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
you know how I always drop it? Not on this one. So there's actually stock location and a bunch of preload on the back, and really no preload on the front. Brother, look at the boxes.
Dude, that's sick.
Come on.
Dude, nice job. Nice job on that.
And this dude, he fits in nice. And he's you have to think about, this is where the seat would be. And when you're sitting in a vehicle and you put your arm out the window,
yep.
it's about like this. It's almost even with you.
Yep.
And that's this guy
right there.
Really right there, man. He's really right there.
That's awesome.
Brother, and it drives. So if I don't get the interior whipped by Sunday, I may just put those rear inner fenders back on and send it.
Do it.
Look at your trim lock window seal.
Right on, dude. It looks great.
When I do them all, it's going to be fantastic.
Did you take my advice and cut the Lexan small? And then
you have to. This is friction fit. No glue at all, brother.
Okay.
So yeah, the Lexan's a little bit smaller. I had to keep on working it a little bit.
Yep.
And then I put that thing on there, and because all that rubber and that give,
yep.
This is pressed. I can press this out if I want, but it is going nowhere.
Awesome.
And I thought about putting a tongue in, like a key for the front,
yep.
and then only worried about doing something back here on this to hold the roof on. But that'll be easy. And once I'm done, the thing is, you know me, the body posts are going to be, it depends where I decide to put the body clips. If I do it where the body clips are on the bottom, I can glue the roof on, no problem.
Right. Yep. Well, you can get the body clips or the actual posts with the magnets on them that you can put in.
That too.
And then you can put a magnet on the bottom of the body, and boom, you're done.
And you know what posts I'm talking about? It's the ones that come with the base camp kit. They give you all this to work with.
You got all different sizes.
And so you've got if I wanted to have my body clips on the bottom, this part with the washer on it, you can see the stand, how it's bigger.
Yep.
Just have that be on the top.
Yep.
And then body pin it wherever you want. And then I can really, really attach the roof and not have to worry about it.
Exactly.
I still need a bumper for this front. I actually bought another Jeep bumper just because I thought, let me see.
Dude, the RPM bumper is it.
Yeah, but I showed you the bumper I want. I'm really trying hard to do that Fabrats one, dude.
Got you.
But yeah, that RPM bumper actually looked pretty damn good. But this, I forget how I mocked it up before. But this actually isn't half bad, to be honest with you. How did I mock that up before?
Did you need to send me a picture of that again?
It's not awful, but I really don't want to hide the grill because I love it so much. So the bumper's got to be silver. It's got to be old school-ish,
Send me another picture of that.
I will. And I got this, I found in my stuff, which the bar part almost works. But
dude, 1/4-inch aluminum stock, we can just bend it and make it perfect.
That's what I'm saying here.
Just to make it.
Let me get this baby sitting back down. Yeah, man. And look how snug that fits. I cannot rock the body sideways. Like that way.
Yeah.
Left and right over the chassis. It's dialed.
So two magnets and you're done. You know.
Yes.
I,
And
I
also, you know me, I like wood.
yeah.
I thought about shaping a piece of wood and using one of those body posts for the front too.
Wood and drywall screws.
I've done it. There's enough flat here though where I'm like, dude, I can totally um not have to hinge that. Uh and that's why I started taking the chimney, one of the extra chimney bodies apart, because I was like, man, I want to see if I can use those little tiny piano hinges. I got nothing small enough to drill the hole to do it. And this is once again going to be another, unless I figure out something else, this is going to be another one of those 1300 milliamp battery deals. Look at this. It's just as tight as the Rover was.
Oh yeah, it's probably
The
even.
battery.
Hey,
But
so those hinges, I bought like a box of 100 of small hinges. I'll bring you
ooh,
some on Sunday.
okay.
You might be able to use them on the bottom side of that hood.
Oh man, I just realized I can set this box either like this or like this.
Options. We like options.
Options, brother. Custom crawler fab. Let's go. Yeah, over the moon, dude. And I got this fired up, bound up, drove it in here over my feet, and
I got to show this to Fred.
Fred, look at that. SCX6 Blazer. You got to show him one of your done Blazers all built. And that's exactly what that is, but big.
That's kind of where it's going to sit at, Fred, on the honcho.
And yeah, the mat driver's going to be perfect in the Willies because homeboy at Fad Rats wears ball caps all the time. And then Richard Dreyfuss is going to be driving my CJ7 now. Dude, I probably made 4 or 5 orders this week of small stuff.
That's Matt Dreyfuss. Come on.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait to see that SCX6 scale out either. So good.
Dude, I am going to bling it out for Axial Fest.
I got light kits from Axial cheap. They just Y in somewhere. I actually busted out. I had a kit. I had the FMS light kit for the 182 Skytrainer sitting around in a package for years. And it just servo wires in. It's nothing you don't need a driver. You don't need to step down the voltage, nothing.
Yep. Plug and play.
And I'm using it in something. I'm going to actually illuminate one of these dashboards, those ones that I've printed.
Yep.
The behind it.
Dude, that'd be cool.
Why not? Because when you have a random light left over from a kit, it's like especially I got a green light. Like, what am I going to do with that? Well, that'll be perfect to back a dash.
You know what, Ryan? I'll bring you a sack full of warm white strip lights. And you can cut them. You can cut them down and just have a small little section. And you could just tape that right on the backside of the dash.
There you go.
They work good for that kind of stuff. Dude, I don't know if you noticed it, I got blue strip lights in my Ecto. So I turn the lights on at night, the cabin's blue on the inside, and I got blue lights underneath it too.
Nice. I forget that I put rock lights on the CJ, but I got them. Yeah, man, lots of little fun things to do. And I get to where I'm like, gosh, I just had this desk cleaned off. And then I just printed 3 interiors with moving bodies that I have to do something with.
Dude, it never ends. Dude,
I'm on everything, brother. And my Golden Nugget, it already has the FMS steering wheel in it because that actually is the only Jimny custom that's still on a Jimny body.
Nice.
So, and I may have to make the dude a little bigger. I'll do the math. I'll figure out how big I got to make Homeboy. to sit in one of those seats, and that son of a gun will have a driver too.
You know what? I'm thinking I might have to I'll get those files from you and blow them up, and I might have to make a driver in this SCX6.
It'll take a standard size servo by then
That's fine. I'll rip
to
it
run
out.
the guy. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll rip it out of that Jimny body that's downstairs in the basement.
Any 9-gram whatever servo will work. I think the only thing to be concerned about at all is which way the direction is.
Dude, I just got one of these guys off of Amazon.
Nice. What's the kilograms?
80.
Holy crap.
It's going to go in Honcho. I'm going to try it out and see how it works. But honestly, at some point, I'm off to drop some coin and get the Beast 2000, I think.
That's a monster.
If this thing pans out as good as everybody says it is, I may have to wind up doing some Vidavon stuff on this eventually.
Oh, yeah. That was supposed to be pretty good. I never did it. The only thing I did to my SCX6 was I did the Spectrum upgrade on the servo. So I put in a bigger one, and I've played with the tires. So I've got different foams, and I got the Method faces. So I got like metal looking wheels. I'd pick it up, but I don't have my hernia belt. Jeez. This.
Yeah, M shape, right? Dude, yeah, I remember when you put those on there, you showed it to us. That's awesome. Looks great.
And I actually like the stiffer foams a little bit, so I got that on here.
M-Shake's right. Just go direct on the servo and drive it with a 3S.
What do you mean direct?
Power the servo direct.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I was telling you, the first thing I would try for free is to program that ESC to put more voltage to the servo, because it's set on the low one.
It's set on 6, yeah.
Dude, I got dual stage foams from Proline on the clearance sale, like less than half off. That sale's been nuts. And it's had me looking at the site all the time. Like I said, I probably put 3 or 4 orders in this week, but it's all been stupid stuff, small stuff. Screws and those little tiny featherweight servos, like HS 150, something tiny, man, is what the driver calls for. And I got the knuckles, because the I-beam kit needs the 10-2 knuckles, but it can go on any of the chassis.
Yep.
TPU inserts. I like foams. I mean, I know Kelly's printed off some TPU inserts and used them and had success with them.
I've never tried the dual stage foams, but yeah, some of the TPU inserts I printed off, I don't hate them. I know Kirk's been running them.
These aren't super expensive, but that's what that dude calls for on the CJ7.
Is that just an HS55?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Little tiny, I think it's a 7-grammer or something. I can't see with these glasses
Dude,
on.
I used to fly those things all the time, those HS55s. That's a high tech, right?
Yeah, and Horizon has them. It's it's like an 8-gram servo. But any of those small little old, remember everybody had those blue Tower Pro servos that we used to use all the time and whatever.
Yep.
That would be sufficient. There's no load really on the driver.
Right.
But I am going to figure out the gyro, because the Spectrum receivers, you can get them straight up, or you can get them with the AVC, active vehicle control. It's like AS3X.
Right. Yep.
I'm telling you. And the whole goal with me and these drivers articulating, I want them looking out the window down at the tire like you would when you're crawling up something.
Yep.
And the goal is to achieve that. And it's doable. People are doing it. Not a lot of people, but it's happening. It's going to be huge. The But what I want to do really is after that, I want to put a camera where the dude's head's supposed to be.
Yep.
And I want to FPV that
Yeah.
thing and be able to look out the bloody window down at the tire. That's it.
That would be a really cool point of view for sure.
Bro, I mean, that may be an SCX6 deal, so it's big enough to work on.
Yep.
And carry all electronics for whatever the FPV stuff.
Heck yeah. And I've mentioned it in some of your shows in the past. Now since I got the Winnebago and you got some airplane guys in this show, I am seriously really thinking about taking the wing files for the GB that I printed off and make a Spaceballs wagon out of this Winnebago.
You know what we need to do?
I need to have you print off a barf for me.
I want to launch. They always do this long jump contest at RC Fest. And the Typhon always flies the best in the air for distance.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to put wings on one last time, but they didn't really set it up. I want to see, and the wings didn't hold up, but if they were 3D printed, they might.
You remember when we were flying my Typhon at the hobby shop, dude?
Oh, I can fly trucks pretty good, bro. But I haven't put wings on any yet. So the wings got to stack up or be back and sweep, but they got to sweep fast. Like bang out. And you got to have some kind of tail or something for pitch.
Dude, let's do it. Let's try it.
Wouldn't that be fun?
George Wilson Park would be a perfect place to launch it.
Yeah. It's got to be able to carry them. It can't be too heavy.
That's another chapter, man, for us.
That's another chapter. That's a lot of goofing, but how cool would it be? Especially if you could get it to fly, like not just tumble, like it looks like it might, but it never does. Even an old set of foam wings, it's all about the mechanism as much as the wings. The foam wings would be good too because they're light.
We could just go buy one of these $12 gliders, dude. Foam gliders that we used to play with as kids. And put a hefty spar in the center of it and launch it.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I love the planes and flying, but I'll tell you what, man, this surface stuff has got me wrapped in tight. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, bro. I talk to people all day, and I'm like, it's dark before I get off, you know?
Yep.
And if anybody here already knows my story, like I was saying it the other day where for the longest time, I can go a whole year and every time I flew, it was on camera. Maybe once, maybe twice, I would fly without a video happening. And so people thought I flew all the time, but the truth is only because of the deadline of the pre-release would I have the deadline, the pressure, the motivation to make it happen. If I'm not getting them early, it's been a break. I'm not having to figure it out. And it's like, cameramen, I can't keep them. It's like Ellen DeGeneres over here. It must be toxic. I don't know. But I love this because I love flying the planes, but I can only fly them when I'm at the field, which is hard to make happen.
Exactly.
My head works on these problems to solve, on these custom attachments and junk.
Right.
And I'm very glad to be doing that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can just see the yellow wingtip back here in the corner.
Big Troge.
That's my big, my big Trojan, and it's a V1, and it was the original red, red, black, and white.
Yeah,
And
man.
the first thing I did was took it out of the box and said, "Screw this! I'm painting it. Oh, it needs to be yellow." And
Yeah,
I took the thing outside because that's what I like to do, and that's why I found so much love in the surface stuff and printing parts and painting things and trying to make a nice finish. But that Trojan, I love it yellow. And so
yep.
next thing you know, then Horizon decides to copy me, and they decide to pop it again with yellow.
That's funny too because the Free Wing F4, I painted mine navy, and then they made a navy one.
Yep.
I mean, it's not because of me. It's a easy next choice, right?
Yep.
You're going to have a Southeast Asia camo and a navy one. Makes sense.
Yep.
But yeah, I painted mine. Also, I my Trojan is stock right now, except for my cockpit. I started messing with it to scale it. It's too big of a plane to not scale up that cockpit a little bit on that T-28.
Yeah, and you don't like the popcorn look, do you?
I can deal with it if it's a small thing, but man, it's so big in there. It's like a 2-liter bottle, the
Right.
canopy.
Yeah.
And so it's just bloody obvious. So it's like dress it up a little.
Dude, you know what we need to do next summer?
I want to FPV that plane.
We need to put a set of Carbon Z floats on mine and see if we can fly it off the water out here.
The Troj.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That and the Draco, both of them. We're doing that next summer.
Dude, Draco would be pretty sick on floats, probably.
I think so, if you can figure out how to mount them.
That's the problem.
But if we're doing all of this crap to these things, we can figure that out.
That's right. I just so much. These are so miniature. They're so. When you're working on a plane, it's just a foam plane. In my experience, I'm not messing with the woodwinds and stuff. I think it probably. Your Hangar 9 biplane probably felt more like working on a real plane than screwing together foam.
Right. Yep.
I may need to go there with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I could get rid of all my foamies except just a few right now, to be honest. And I would love to be honest. And I'd buy a Boom Racing chassis.
As a tug?
As another thing to noodle on.
Right.
I can't wait to I can't wait to get CJ7. I bought the files almost more for everything else than the CJ, actually. But I'm going to put them on the CJ. I'm going to get that done, paint it up. I printed that all off gray. I'll probably paint it. I'm going to get that done. I'm going to get the Willies done, and I cannot wait to do the Travelall.
Right, and then when you get that done, I'll give you the files for the Blazer for your SCX6.
There's a meantime in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Like the trimmers will get done and off to Dad, and I'll need something. I was looking at kits again. I almost pulled the trigger on another base camp, brother. The kit build, but I was gonna do it on the Gladiator chassis rails instead. So kit build, everything's the same except the chassis rails are already straight. So I got no messing around at the back. That stuff that drives me nuts. It's enough to cut out for the shock towers, but that cross member and that hump drives me crazy.
So a little secret, I got to looking at the SCX10.
Yeah.
3, my Jeep.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to. That's what this next 1/10 scale Blazer body is going to be fitted up on, because it's low and the motor and everything's up front.
It's the transmission even looks good too.
Yep.
It looks like super scale, the transmission, and the motor's up front. The transmission's right where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But
And
it's
that's-
and you have a kit, so you got a straight axle 10.3 like that, right?
No, mine's Portal.
Was that kit Portal?
Yep.
I wish that kit didn't go away, actually.
Me too. Would have been great.
A Basecamp 2.0 builder's kit with the motor and stuff up front would be amazing.
It would be. That would be the ideal setup for what we're doing.
If my Willys had that motor and trans, I wouldn't have had to cut a thing on the CJ files for it to work. I stretch it, whatever, but that's it.
That's why I'm saying this SCX 10.3, that Willys body would probably fit beautiful on that. Because
your Willys is on a real pedestrian leaf setup, isn't it?
Yeah, it's set for a leaf. Yep.
I haven't seen you take that out yet, bro.
Dude, all I gotta do is set it on the frame and go.
So let's talk about that. So you and Kirk are doing a good job at using the Jimny chassis and their even your Basecamp chassis, whatever. You're able to swap bodies.
Yeah, in a matter of seconds.
Every one I'm doing is so bloody custom to itself. My Land Rover is the Land Rover. That body is not coming off. It could come off, but it's not going to because that's what it's like. It's so custom.
But see, that's my Land Rover bodies are the same way as I set them up the same way as what the Blazer bodies are. I can swap it in 2 seconds.
See, man, I'm not that smart. I haven't done that.
So here's this body on this chassis, right?
You know what I want to start figuring out the light. You know why I can't do it? Because if I wire in lights, I didn't do it right.
There you go.
Get the brother.
Oh.
Come on. I like that one the best.
There's that one back off. Yeah, dude, it's so easy, man. And this one goes right back on, dude.
And that's your Basecamp? Or is that?
This is the Jimny.
Okay.
The Jimny body.
What's your Basecamp chassis doing?
That's on my blue Land Rover. And it's the same rule applies. Let me grab it.
So what? You can put the different Land Rovers on that one?
So that's my Basecamp.
And both your Land Rover bodies will fit on that.
Yep, I got one wire that I unplugged.
And check this out. If the stupid motor and transmission wasn't in the middle, your stuff could be swapped on all of it.
Right. Exactly. And then, yeah, this one.
Bro, especially since you're using magnets already.
There you go.
Have you seen those magnet setups for lights where they turn on when the magnets connect?
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah, I need to get those too.
FMS is using those on their new 10 scale stuff. I wonder if they offer them as spare parts.
Possibly.
That'd be sick, right?
Yep. Absolutely. I need to investigate that because yes, you're right. Using all magnets now and everything, it would just make sense to do that. So that way then I don't have to hook and unhook one wire. I got everything going to one wire for lights.
That's so good. I've only ever seen any of your bodies come loose once or twice, and it was after a serious tumble.
Yeah, I think you got it on video, one of them.
So the new Vortex, I'm sure it's fine, Mike. And I haven't looked at any of the videos on it, but I mean, that stuff was already good. So it's not like they're going to go backwards with it. So that 3S lineup is pretty strong. You can run 2S on it and still go plenty fast. I think it's cool. I like the new look of the bodies and stuff. I really like that short course. I'm really glad they updated and changed the look of the body on the Sentin now, and it's like the same body as the Fury, and they just look a little more retro. Comparing the Slash to the Arma Sentin, I thought the Sentin was always way more durable, and they really occupy the same class, 2S, 3S, but the Slash body looked better. So now with the Sentin and the Fury update bodies, they look good. I literally will buy one of those new Sentin bodies to put on my race Team Associated kit. No problem. Already done.
You and Kirk are going to have to probably convince me to start racing this next summer.
It's not going to be hard. You just got to decide. I mean, summertime's great because you can make your Typhon race ready, dude.
Yeah, I bought a new set of tires for it and put them on. It's pretty much ready to go.
Did you get like off-road racing tires or more basher tires?
No, they're off-road tires.
Let's see them. Is it close?
Yep.
I got the same kind of magnets as you, but mine are countersunk with a taper so I can screw them on. Those tires look pretty mean. You're going to need some pin tires, though, for racing.
Oh, really?
Yep, I already know, bro.
Okay.
But that'll get your whistle wet, no problem. I have a Typhon. I need to fix it up, and then I'll have a buggy, too. You got to drive my Truggy, bro. It's like racing a Creighton. It's the best.
Dude, I almost brought the Creighton up from the basement just to show it off tonight with the Arma 6S infraction body.
Oh, your big one. You don't have your hernia belt, though, with you.
Right. Yeah, and then anybody out there?
That thing is sick, bro.
Anybody out there got these micro bees? I got 2 of them, and they're fun. Race them around the house, dude. They're so fun. I make little makeshift ramps and stuff, and girlfriend and I chase the cat around the house when he's here.
That's fun. That's fun. I know oval's not for everybody, but I think those little NASCARs would be a blast.
Didn't Dylan get a couple of those?
Yes. I told him to get one because he got him at Maple City. I was like, bro, if you go back in and they got one, just get it. I'll get it. But I want to be able to race it. So like just having one by myself, it's like, whatever.
Right.
But I got an oval car, so I can oval race. And this winter, man, I mean, I know Kirk doesn't really do the racing inside, but short course and buggy is a good time inside too. And there's 4-wheel drive buggy for inside. But it won't be the Typhon because it's 8 scale. John said they have one at Maple City still. And the Vortex, I mean, that's the same wheelbase as like a Rustler, but it's so shorter wheelbase than the Sentin and the Creighton or Big Rock and even Typhon 3S. The Typhon 3S is still 8 scale.
It's pretty much the same size, isn't it?
It is the same size. And if you're racing the Typhon, you really ought to be on 4S anyway. So you might have to play with the gearing a little bit, but those things are so fast anyway, bro.
Mine rips on 4S.
You'll be fine.
I got 4 4S 9,000 packs that I can run in that thing.
As long as you, and honestly, for a 5-minute qualifier, 6-minute main, 5,000, 4,000, whatever you can fit in there will be fine. 9,000.
Yep.
you'll be good. As long as you got enough wheel speed to correct in the air some, you just won the game. And dude, the 4-wheel racing versus 2-wheel, you get to rip the drift through the turns on the 4-wheel, which feels more like bashing. It's a little bit more, I think, what we know. Like when we were racing your big deal, and this is how I learned it, we would race X Maxes and big 8S stuff like your big Creighton with the infraction body on it. And the car is so big, if you just turned it, you wouldn't make the turn. You have to give it the beans to get the back end to break loose and rip the drift
and drift it around
through the turn and then go. Because if you just relied on the steering arc, you'll hit the wall. You don't have enough.
Yep.
And so that mentality is very different than driving something that's 2-wheel, where instead of getting in the power and ripping the drift, I call it, you're out of the power. So the front loads up and those wheels are actually effective in turning because there's no drive to them.
Yep.
And if you stay in the power, you'll either spin your butt out or push even a 2-wheel out. So it's like you get out of the power and it loads the front and then your turning's effective. But on 4-wheel drive, blah, 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 blah. Just rip it, dude.
That sounds fun.
8 scale was and I raced all winter. I had an absolute blast, but I never felt the ownership over the car as first, second, third time I raced the Truggy, which again, it's the same wheelbase as a Creighton, bro. And but it's built for racing. So it's a little bit lighter and stuff, but it's the same wheelbase. It's like driving a Cloud. So good. Imagine a Creighton feeling better than a Creighton. It's hard to do.
Hard to do. Are you talking 4S or 6?
4S on my Truggy. That's what the class would call for. And 4S on that low CRTR, bro. It's like a Creighton on a little bit of a diet, but same wheelbase. Amazing. And our Typhon, people race those Typhons. They just change the wheels and put the pin tires on them, and you got a buggy.
Perfect.
Yep. I'll fix mine up. I got one that needs a motor and a motor mount and stuff. I'll gear it. What I'll probably do is I'll buy the low CRTR power system. So the motor and KV and ESC, that just like what's on my Truggy, I'll put it in the Typhon and I'll have a buggy for cheap.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I'll bring the Typhon with me on Sunday. We need to run that on that oval track out there at the park.
Bro, that big monster oval I saw.
Yep.
Bro, that's a good idea. Maybe I should bring the 6S Creighton then.
Do it. What's the worst we're going to do? Get kicked out?
Kick up some dust.
Right.
You know, the crawling is pretty quiet. That stuff will be like, rah, 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 rah. But I mean, it's not nitro. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that track's back where it's pretty quiet. So we might be able to get by with it for a little bit.
I think so, man. Team Associated did bring out an oval car a few years ago, and they re-released it with a different paint scheme this year. And it's even better now than it was before. Lightweight, it's what do they call it? It's a SR10 instead of a SC10. But the Team Associated stuff, a lot of it's very much similar designs. The difference will be mid-mounted motor versus like rear-mounted motor, things like that. Oval's way funner than you think it would be. But dude, nothing's like 4-wheel drive. And if you're not worried about racing this winter, I'm only doing 2-wheel drive stuff because that's the most popular classes. And if I'm gonna go, I want to race. And I have managed to do fairly okay for a beginner to racing. You know, the second place a few times for a guy that doesn't really do it seriously. It makes me happy. Especially with an RTR, dude, it kills people.
Is this the third winter for you racing indoors?
Second.
Second. Nice.
Yeah. And I need to actually take apart my diff and clean it up on the my short course truck. And I'm due for a new body, which is why I think I may get a Sinton body on it or something.
Nice.
It's
Hey,
already done.
does anybody know, just thought popped in my head, does anybody on here know what shock oil weight comes in these honchos? The big SCX6 honchos?
I could probably tell you a different time.
It's probably got to be a 35 or 40 weight. I'm really thinking about going to a 65 or 70 because it's pretty top heavy. Mike Bird, 60 with a question mark.
You think it moves too much?
Dude, definitely. I popped that thing in second gear the other day. I was out here running around and it is really squirrely. I need to tame it down some.
But it crawls so good. Bro, it crawls so good. Why spin some preload in it and see if you like it stiffer.
What's that, Ryan?
Spin some preload in on the springs.
Yeah, I probably could.
To see if you like it. That's a good cheap way to see if you like it stiffer.
I'll see how it goes this weekend and maybe spin some preload into it and just see what it does.
I prefer the honcho to what I have, actually. It's easier to get into and change the battery. I like the light package on it. It articulates a little bit better. It's not going to run into its fenders and stuff. But I had already beefed up the servo and stuff. And I bought this Wrangler before we had the shop. And so when I did the honcho, it was a shop demo. And I left it, I sold it there, for the business because it came from the business. And I didn't upgrade it at all. But I prefer it. I like it. And but they're the same. Underneath, you and I have the same chassis, dude.
Yep. The
I'm
difference
so to see your Blazer, brother. At first I like the box backs to have the boxes on them. So I wasn't super wild about your guys' Blazers right away until I drove them, until I saw them out on the trails. Guy, where's your speaker at? You got to show our guys your Bluetooth speaker, bro. We're out in the woods and it's a party. He's got a Bluetooth speaker set up that just fits perfect in the bed of his truck. And dude, we're jamming out there. But look at that Land Rover. That's the thing that started it all right there, brother. And so funny because Kelly and we're 20 minutes apart, but YouTube is what made it happen. And Kelly was an airplane guy. Now look at him. Sorry, not sorry, bro.
My little JBL speaker he's talking about? Yeah, it just drops right.
I got Kelly off of airplanes and bashing. Now look at him.
Dude, my speaker fits perfect right in the back of the truck.
Dude, when you watch our short form of that thing bouncing slow-mo in the sand, the speaker's all like bouncing too.
Yeah, you talking about flying planes and stuff back, a couple of years ago, you would start talking about surface stuff on Sunday night, and I was like, yep, bye, later, boom, gone. So you airplane guys that haven't touched surface stuff yet, don't give up. Ryan will get you there.
It's hilarious. I never thought, I've told the story before, but like crawlers, if you told me a few years ago I'd be doing them, I would have been like, you're out of your mind. Going slow on purpose, like forget about it. But man, going fast and learning how to jump those bashers, I got plenty tired of fixing them. And I got that opportunity to do that Willie's FMS, their first crawler, their first RC vehicle. And I was like, dude, that thing is World War II. It's scale enough to keep the airplane guys happy. And I won it. And it was at COVID time. And so I knew it was coming, but it took forever to come. And I didn't know anything about crawling, but I thought that thing looks too scale to be any good at crawling. But I don't want to just have an opinion without any basis or context. So I got a deadbolt while I was waiting on that thing to finally show up. Got the deadbolt, played with it in the yard, and was like, Calgon, take me away. This is like Calgon for dudes. You know, I'm like, this is chill. I really like it. I'm surprised I really like it, but I really like it. And it was a whole different kind of video to make. I could make them by myself. Cell phone and a selfie stick. You get the best angles ever down low. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm surprised, blown away that I liked it. But if it wasn't for FMS and that thing, I never would have done it. So come to find out, the Jeep, as scale as it is, actually performs really good for what it is. I didn't expect it to, but it did. And I had something to compare it to, which was nice. And it's been on since then. And then this custom stuff, holy smokes, man. So you were talking about bashing around on the sand. Like, we keep dragging crawlers out on our trailers. I'm going to do this I-beam kit on a 10-2 or something. I'm wanting to find a deadbolt cheap or something. And then I can pull out a sand rail when we're by one of the creeks or in the sand or something. But you already know, you're taking a crawler and making it two-wheel drive. It's going to suck.
Yep.
So it's only to make it look cool and to have an I-beam and to say I've done it is why. But that $90 I-beam kit's only $30 right now.
Right. But it's something, dude, it's something different that we haven't touched or messed with. So
it may be my excuse to finally do a bug body.
Yeah.
Or like a Myers Manx or something. There's a really cool file on Knights Customs that looks like a Myers Manx that's really designed for a short wheelbase kind of Tamiya.
Yep.
But bro, we can check it. We can stretch it.
Oh yeah, you can make it whatever you want,
dude.
Obviously, I mean, come on.
Size it up, size it down, stretch it out, and scale it out.
Scale it up. 30, this is going to be 30, almost 34 inches with the bumpers.
It looks so good. And man, I'm telling you, you cannot buy those bumpers. And if you could, they'd be $100-something for the front and $100 for the back.
Yep.
Printing off those plastic ones, that stuff's been holding up for us.
I told you you're going to love that printer.
I went stupid though and got metal bumpers for that Land Rover I have. I could have had a whole nother chassis for what I got in the bumpers, but it made sense. But I had a lot of work to do to convert that to make it work. But dude, these Blazers and Travelogues, you can't, and believe it, I have shopped and web surfed. These bumpers that go with these trucks we're building, you cannot find them. And if you did, they aren't going to fit.
Nope.
So it's like, might as well.
Exactly.
Glue on a big plastic one.
Well, and that silk silver, that filament that you told me about, dude, I bought some chrome paint. And I actually thought, you know what? I'm going to show Ryan up how great this is. And I put it on it. I couldn't tell any difference. You could not tell a difference in the hue of it or the color of it, the shine of it. That silk silver is the way to go for replicating a chrome bumper.
Right? And if you scratch your paint, it's already silver.
Dude, it's color through.
Yeah, I need to get some more of that. Bro, my Instagram story today was a box of break-offs, supports.
Oh, yeah.
I got a box full of supports just from this week,
Right?
dude.
I'm right there with you. I have 2 full bags, Martin's bags, Meyer bags, full
Yeah.
of.
So
Yep.
there's Beadlock RC is Fred Barron's surface channel right there. I'm gonna get out of here and start making a CJ7 interior. I think here in a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I need to cut out of here too because I'm 5 o'clock, 5:30 comes early for me.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm a night owl, and it's gonna be my demise someday, but I can't help it.
No, I get it.
I'm like 2 o'clock every morning. I
That's
go to
crazy.
bed
It's crazy.
every day, and I'm up at 8.
Let's see, we gotta be crawling at 9 o'clock Sunday morning.
You know, I'll be there at 10. I'll try to do better this time. Yeah, it's so many projects, dude. Got a couple that are close. And then a little bit of a surprise to throw the CJ7 interior in the mix. Trimmer's truck's awfully close. I gotta get that Cricut dialed in. I really think that's going to be cool to be able to make like stencils and stickers and stuff like that.
Did you get one?
Not yet. I gotta pull the trigger. I want to write them an email first, and I just haven't yet.
Yes.
And then once they tell me no, then I'll buy one. But if they tell me yes, then I won't have to.
Right on.
I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. I just got to tell them I'm being funny. But I mean, my channel sucks, dude. I've been stalled out on 20K for 3 years or something. I don't care. You know, I do not really care. But I've already put in the work, so I'm gonna flex the numbers and see if I can get a free sticker machine.
Well, we need to start breaking shit and lighting stuff on fire like Whistling Diesel does, and we'll go somewhere. It's crazy.
I think even if we did, you may have some viral moments, but mostly you just have a bunch of burn up stuff. I think this cat had the numbers already, you know, like it's just, you know what? We don't have a British accent, and we're just really not that interesting, I think is what it is.
Right. Well, like I said, last weekend when we were out crawling, we need to do a little more like just do a live, pop on and while we got all the guys together and we're all scaling up or down, traversing across or up or down something wild and crazy and just pop on a couple times throughout a crawling session for 5 or 6 hours and, just start building back up.
You know what we need to do? We need to figure out a phone mount because that's, easy to go live streaming off the phone.
Right.
Facebook, YouTube. I can on YouTube because once you have 1,000 subs, you can. And yeah, you guys are amazing. The guys we do have are super tight. And maybe one day I'll advertise that there's actually a show instead of just going live like I do. A lot of people build up a thumbnail and promote the thing a little bit. I mean, in what we're doing and for everybody, I think there's the majority of the market is happy with the RTR stuff, but there is a huge amount of folks that are doing different kinds of builds and things like that. And I think it may catch on, and it's okay if it doesn't because we're having a blast.
It is a blast.
It is. And if we can, I think we need a mount for our phone because every time we put a phone in a truck, it's always moving around. We just need some stupid little thing that friction fits into these trucks for a moment to run a phone on for the live.
Maybe it's time I need to charge up my DJI Mavic Pro.
I'd love to see what that would do with these. If it would stay low and track on one, How cool would that be? Even if it's just the B-roll, like a whole video of it may be too much, but
I think the active track would work, but we'd have to just throw the remote in the vehicle, which is cool.
Yeah, no problem. What, the little tag or whatever?
Yeah, the controller, just throw it in the vehicle.
You know what? And it's not like it's an airplane. Like I feel like the technology can never keep up with a plane. Like there used to be this thing, may still be this thing called solo shot. And it was like, kind of having your own cameraman for nothing. And people would set it up and play soccer or surf on the beach, and it was cool. But I always loved it conceptually for what it could do with a plane, but it never seemed to work very good for that. So I think with these slow moving crawlers though, like no problem, dude. Put the one with the tag in it, controller in the middle of the group that's out there, and you'll get all of it.
Yep.
Trailing.
Yep.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll charge it up and see what we get.
We can slap it in one of these things, see what we get.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, I'm gonna bounce out. I'm gonna put a couple things away and get some shut eye. So
all right, brother. I'll talk to you, man. We'll be doing it Sunday, SCX6 style. I'll try to GoPro up and charge it up and see about capturing something. We go out there with the music on, so it's a copyright issue. So I think it's kind of like, I think what we got to do is just for when we're trailing, like let's rock it. But when we get to one of these climbs or these features that it's like going to be hard to do,
yep, kill it.
Maybe kill it, because that's where we'll, talk and kind of hang out a minute and do the tough stuff. And then on the trail, because sometimes we're walking forever before we climb over anything. That's where crank up the jams.
Absolutely. Dude,
yeah.
I love it. We're having a
Let's
lot.
go, bro.
It's a blast to be able to all of us go out and have fun. It's great. Love it.
I'm saying, and I'm going to get some more dolls now and decapitate them, because on these moving dudes, a little jacket and a little Richard Dreyfuss or Michael J. Fox and
dude, I got an extra Doc Brown from Back to the Future. I got an extra.
Yeah, I will try to not be a piece of garbage and actually put all my files on that driver for you guys.
That's cool. We need to get over to Kirk's house one more time and do some crawling, and we'll do some.
His setup's sick. You know what? We keep doing all these scale things. I need to go to his house more, because it puts me in the buggy mentality. A little bit more performance and a little less scale. But what's crazy is dude, we'll go out, and I know you're trying to go. We'll go out with, last time we went out, last week or week before, we all were on leaf sprung trucks, and they all performed really good. And we've gone out before where maybe you're the only one with a leafer, and we've all got coilovers, and you're able to go wherever we can.
Yeah, we did that with the Yellow Blazer.
And and I was saying, it reminds me of driving this Bronco, where straight axle, big square, chunky, it's not cut up and tucked like my CJ is. And so the CJ will finesse over stuff, but with the Bronco being all boxy, you kind of got to bump and bash yourself over things.
Yep.
Same thing with these leaf sprung trucks. And it's hilarious to me that we on purpose make them suck, but not really suck, because we've all had stuff that's so capable, it's just not a challenge. It's kind of fun to have one that it's tough, and it blows me away how much mileage we're getting out of these Jimneys. I didn't have a whole lot of faith in the components holding up. And my FJ40 has done more trailer pulling than anything. But all of us have put together. And it's still good. It crawls amazing when it's unhooked, but it's always pulling another crawler for miles at this point.
Your FJ saved my day last weekend.
Wasn't that cool? Because
So
he
my-
broke down. We pulled the trimmer's truck off the trailer. I drove the trimmer's truck out. Kelly put his broken one on the trailer and pulled the FJ. Pulled your truck out with the FJ.
Yep. FJ to the rescue.
FJ to the rescue. It's still in my truck.
I've got a decent amount of mileage on my FJ40, and yeah, I gotta tell you, the way they set those things up with the transmission that's attached to the motor it's great.
Dude, and me and you both put the leafs on ours, so it makes it a great hauler.
Absolutely, and like you said, the Blazer body is heavy, it's bulky, it's square, it's big. I mean, every crawler that I have drives so much different, and a lot of you guys on here right now understand and know what I'm saying. It's like we go to Kirk's house. I got one vehicle I take over there, and it's my little yellow cabbed, built up from the ground up, different shock oil in the front versus the back, and it just does what it's supposed to do, and it drives different than any of the rest of these. They're all different. Love it. I absolutely love the fact that Ryan got me talked into this side of the hobby.
And that's something. And you got me with he gave me about 5 or 6 Ziplocs full of parts, like a puzzle, for that Land Rover. And I was like, only because it was, I swear to goodness, only because it was you did I go for it. Because I was like, man, I know he spent a ton of time printing that off. And I'm like, what the hell is this? But I saw yours, and then I was like, damn. And I remember when Kirk asked me if I had started working on it yet, he was totally surprised that when I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm like half done.
Right.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. You got to get your ender fixed, bro.
Yeah, I should have the new hot plate for it, I think Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Sweet.
So, yep.
Good work, man. Good stuff. I'll let you go. I'm going to wrap up these guys in a few minutes too.
That's cool. All right, guys, you guys all have a great rest of the week. We'll catch you on Sunday.
That's right.
And thanks, Brian, for letting me join you.
Oh man, anytime. I think it's better, better together, right?
Yeah, and you know what? You need to get Kirk on here too at some point.
Yeah, dude, you're going to never get out of here, honestly, is what's going to happen. What we got to do is hook up at Kirk's and just film it, and I can put it up later like a premiere or a podcast. It'll still present like this a little because it's just too late, I think, for you and him who have to get up early.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. If we're going to do it, you just really got to roll all the time and be ready to process it. I think you need to learn how to edit, bro, so I don't have to. Just let me capture. Bro. I just am so tired of editing, man. After we went out last time, I spent that evening, I must have downloaded 3 or 4 apps trying to find AI to do it for me.
Wow.
I was just wanting to put in my footage and say, give me 9 minutes of the best stuff there is. And dude, it kept generating stuff off of stock footage. So no matter what, it didn't use any of mine. And whatever I put in there for the script to tell it what to kind of say,
yep,
it always showed AI generated bashers, never really crawlers. But it was talking about it like it was crawlers. It was the goofiest stuff. So yep. I think what I want might be out there, but it's probably not a free app like I was messing with on my phone. It's going to be something that takes up a little more RAM and all that. But boy, I would love, because when we go out, there's 2 or 3 hours worth of footage.
Oh, yeah.
If you edit that,
Easily.
you're spending at least twice that amount of time to cut it up
Sure.
easily. And
I
that's
can,
not the rest of it, the render, the upload, the blah, 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 the dressing it up, the thumbnail. That's just at best what it would take to sit there and cull through it. That's a lot of footage. That's why I'm going to start maybe not filming as much and just go for highlights, but it's also really nice to just turn it on and go.
dude, I've done some weddings with my drone for friends, and I get what you're saying. I mean, you sit down in front of a Mac, and it's like 3 or 4 hours go by like that,
And you still got another couple hours of footage to go through.
right?
But you've smashed that 2 hours into
Yeah, right.
20 minutes,
8 minutes,
6
whatever.
minutes. That's the thing, you know, and it's hard not to get invested in watching it yourself. And it's hard for me to do it, but I'm a little better at doing it on the crawler stuff now, where it's like, okay, if it's a hat cam and we're just walking through the trails, I already know the music's on. If I use it at all, it's going to be time lapse or not very much. And what I really need is when we get to those hill climbs or those weird features that are actually going to challenge the vehicle, that's where you quit the time lapse, let the video roll, and just go. But when you're looking at 3 hours worth of stuff, it's like,
Where do you start?
where do I start? Where do I stop?
What's the storyline? What, you know?
I have so much footage that y'all have never seen, airplane and surface, because I just like capturing it, but I don't necessarily want to go through it.
Right.
And I'm fiddling, I'm wrenching. Now I don't want to sit here at a computer. I'm at a computer all day, bro.
Yep.
All right, man. Get out of here. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good evening. We'll see you guys Sunday.
Peace, Kelly. See ya
Later, guys.
later. All right. Good time, man. Great time having Kelly on, man. We're having a good time, and I'm glad those guys live close to be able to get out and do it. I was having a ball doing it by myself, but there is nothing like get out there with a couple dudes. Really appreciate that. And I really appreciate all you guys coming by. I think there's a lot to offer in this thing for anybody that's wanting to mess with crawlers, and especially, you know, 3D print things that you can't really buy anywhere else and make them work with things that are available, trying to keep it on the cheap. These Jimny chassis that we're using, I mean, those trucks are like under $200 right now. Pretty cool. And you're able to have a scale situation. I like it. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to roll also. So we'll see you Sunday. Watch the videos from our buddies. Don't forget about the Real Flight stream on Monday. Of course, we'll be on Sunday. Check out Jeff in Lower Alabama. His show's coming up. And we'll see you. Appreciate you. I'm on a roll. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom.